Y'all, if you can y'all hear me first of all? Check, check, 1, 2, 3. Or wait, actually. Okay, actually, I thought I was gonna have to restart the stream because I messed up, but I don't think I messed up. Let's go! All right, peak. Okay. We're out here, y'all. We are out here. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. Getting a few final things set up real quick. Charles, what's good, my friend? All right, bada boom, bada bing. I think we got our multi-chat already up and running. I'm breaking my own world records here, y'all. How's everybody doing today on this fine Monday? 6:30 a.m. Charles, speaking to me from the future right now. Blair says he's rereading Kagurabachi. I love it. No leaks or anything are out. I'm just I'm booting her up today because I didn't get a chance to stream yesterday, which we've been doing some Sunday streams for the new chaps. So I was camping this weekend. I figured, you know, it's Monday, but who cares? Let's pretend it's Sunday anyway. Jules, hello, hello. I'm doing well, MB. Thanks for asking. This is not my first stream. I actually streamed for many years before I ever created a YouTube channel. I had a little bit of the stuff already pre-set up when I decided to start streaming here as well. Yeah, welcome in, everyone. Camping was great. It was great. We've got a little... I took some pics. I'll probably make like an Instagram post or at least a story or something for anyone who cares about, you know, camping for whatever reason. But me and my group of friends, we've started a little tradition a couple years ago where we're going to all try to like go on an annual camping trip and just vibe. So that's what we just did this past weekend. No, I'm live on TikTok and YouTube. So for anyone that prefers a full screen, widescreen experience, coming over to YouTube. JJK fans can't read a calendar anyways. True. Your camera's not close enough? Facts. Also, just, you know, seeing more of me startles a lot of people. Yo, McKay, and hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. This is only like my, maybe like 6th stream ever. So you definitely haven't missed much. And of those 6 streams, like 4 of them were just a random video game I played recently. I have not seen Infinity Castle Part 1 yet. I do want to see it, but honestly, I'll probably just wait till it, you know, till I can watch it not in theaters. Side note, for anyone that's wondering what we're going to be doing today, we'll be going over Modulo Chapter 3 for anybody that hasn't been here for the past couple Sundays, what we do is we typically like read through the chapter together and then just talk about it for a bit. And then I want to do that for Kagurabachi as well, which we haven't been doing yet. But it's peak. So I'll obviously give a warning because I know a lot of you probably haven't read Kagurabachi. So we'll do that after. So don't worry about spoilers. You'll have plenty of warning. But y'all should read Kagurabachi, especially if you aren't already. Like it's going crazy right now, and like we're hitting the climax of what is like the best and most important arc in the series so far. So I mean, don't you want to be able to say you were in on it before that happened, before it gets cool? Then you can gatekeep it along with everybody else. Plus Ultra says, really, you think the first 3 Modulo chapters are better than JJK? I never said that. So maybe you're responding to somebody else in chat. But I do think the first 3 chapters of Modulo are really good. I honestly don't know. That's an interesting... I think 3 chapters a little bit too soon, but I kind of do want to go back and read like the first 10 chapters of JJK and then compare that to Modulo. I would stand to guess that they probably will be better, just because Gege Akutami is likely better. But we'll see. Yo, Khalil, bro, you are more than welcome to come oil the beard. I saw recently you trimmed yours up. I'm probably getting close to doing the same. Given Wild West. Got the flannel. You know, it's fall. Apparently today was the first official day of fall, so I said, you know what? It's time to crack out the flannel. Imagine a limitless user without the 6 eyes. Like having a car without the keys. What are your thoughts on the Samura versus Toji deadbeat dad debate? Dang, that's actually a good comparison. Toji's worse, for sure. But I think that would be a fun comparison. Yo, meow. Meow. Thank you so much, man. Big meow. Drink bears? Is that what that said? That's not a misspell. I must be out of the loop. But thank you so much, man. Is the music too loud? BT dub? Also, again, for anybody just getting in, we'll start the chapter in a little bit. Just want to give peeps a chance to come in. Also, for anyone new, I can't show the actual panels as we read through it. So if you want to read along, you should go ahead and like get it pulled up. Have I seen the Hawkery Trader Theory? No, I haven't. That has me curious, though. I wonder how that would even work. I would imagine he would have to be like an unwitting traitor. Cope says, would you do a live reading when Hunter x Hunter releases again? Yeah, I'd love to do that. No, I've read the chapter. Who's my favorite character in Modulo so far? Ooh. I mean, obviously we don't this could change, okay? Nobody quote me on this. We're 3 chapters deep. Probably Tsurugi or Maru. I feel like those are the 2 that have had the most development so far, so they're the most interesting to me so far. Have I heard that the studio that might animate Kagurabachi has top tier animation? Are you talking about Cygames Pictures or whatever? If so, yeah, they have done some pretty nice stuff, so I'd be happy with them if it turns out to be true that they're the ones doing it. Yo, Jesus loves you. Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, I'm really excited for Hunter x Hunter to come back. Yeah, Wise Apple says the shark guy from the new chapter is so cool, but his curse technique seems OP. Yeah, like, honestly, somebody else mentioned, like, what if that dude dressed up as Gojo? Like, would he get the 6 eyes and limitless? Bro's broken and he doesn't even know it. Alrighty, yo, let me get this pulled up actually, because I don't even have it pulled up yet. Am I still watching One Piece? No, but only because I was never watching it. I was reading the manga. Um, and like right now, no, I'm not currently, just because there's so much other stuff going on. But I absolutely am going to catch up on One Piece. I gave myself the deadline of catching up before the live action season 2 comes out. I have watched Yu Yu Hakusho. I love Yu Yu Hakusho. Wise Apple, I appreciate you, man. Good luck on the schoolwork. CQ, keep your eye on her, okay? All right, y'all. I think we could go ahead and start the chapter and then, you know, just get to yapping about it afterwards. I mean, I guess we don't even have to, like, read through it. Especially since it's Monday and not Sunday. What do you guys think? Like, should we still read through it or no? You know, if I was better at streaming, I would throw up a poll. I forgot how to do that on YouTube already. Bro, TikTok hates my lives so much. Every one of them, I just got a notification. It gets restricted. I don't even have panels up right now. Alright, wait. Let me catch up. Yo, John, thank you for the donut, by the way. What curses do I think might be alive? I don't know. I mean, like, who do you even mean? Because basically all of the ones that were, like, prominent in JJK died. So I don't really think any of them are alive that we're, like, familiar with. I think Gege is subverting, and Cross and quite possibly Maru are stronger than the Captain Alien. That wouldn't be my first guess. Oh, like which curses have reincarnated? I don't know, because like we don't really know what the time frame of that is. Right? So like, yeah, it's been 70 years, but like it could take like 300 years for all we know. Okay, I saw some mixed responses, so I'm gonna read through the chapter real quick. Again, I can't show it, and I'm not gonna like be explaining everything that happens on screen. I'm just gonna read through the dialogue essentially. So if you want to read through it with me, get it pulled up on your end. But we'll start here in just a second. Yo, Jacob, thank you, man. All right, let's dive in. All right, JJK Modulo Chapter 3, Swimming Through the Forest. A man-eating shark has appeared, and your mission this time is to exterminate it. A shark? Shouldn't that be the government's job? Yeah. Is there a reason why you gotta dispatch Jujutsu sorcerers? It was spotted in Gifu. What? Gifu? Isn't that a landlocked prefecture? Oh, good point. Did it swim up the river or something? No. This shark swims through forests. Don't talk to me. Cursed spirits only appear in Tokyo. Cursed spirits? Oh, so I'm allowed to talk to you today. What? You don't know what cursed spirits are? You guys use Jujutsu too, right? Cursed spirits are incarnations of the accumulated cursed energy that leaks out of people in this country. That's what yokai, ghosts, and apparitions really are. Missions to exorcise abominations like this haven't occurred outside of the inhuman Makyo in Tokyo for decades. But now this happens, right after aliens get here. Huh? He's saying that maybe this man-eating shark is actually another alien like you guys. What? I swear, my compatriots don't look like that picture Usami showed us. And we don't eat people either. So you are an alien after all. Ugh, I'm sorry, I'll talk about it when the time comes. I'm sure there's a reason you and Usami can't tell us about it. I know you're not a bad guy. Yuka. Probably. There are 2 victims and 3 witnesses. Witnesses say they saw a shark next to the mangled remains of the victims. No bodies of water are present near either site where the victims were found. Might be a bit late to ask, but are you sure that's what you guys saw? Listen, Missy, I saw it with my own 2 eyes. I saw it on a dark, moonless night with my very own eyes. So that's why I'm thinking that's not really what they saw. But the autopsy results found bite marks that aren't like those from a bear or anything. I'll meet up with you guys once I talk to the other witness. You heard her. Mm-hmm. You sure these kind of things aren't secretly happening all over Japan? What do you mean? I'm asking if you guys are launching an underwater invasion. I'm here so that doesn't happen. What about you? You seriously think Earthlings' rationality and morality are developed enough to criticize aliens? What? You got a lot of nerve talking like that after you barged into somebody else's turf. Like I wanted to. Why are you even picking a fight? What's your problem with me anyway? I'm a Jujutsu sorcerer. I could die during a mission at any time, so I can't afford to have an idiot like you by my side. You sound just like my brother. What about me is stupid? Like when you defeated that kidnapper. I don't know what kind of curse technique that was, but if you're capable of pulling off a move like that, why didn't you just do it in the first place? I explained that already. The higher-ups ordered me not to interfere with the mission, and you'd put those orders over a child's life. Well, Chuck! Oh, they cropped this double spread really weird. Out of the way. Wait, if you use your cursed tool here, won't it cause a wildfire? Good point. Then how about you do something, you good for nothing? What'd you just say? Can you attack it now without using fire? Who do you think you're talking to? And I don't need your help. Haven't seen you kids before. It's an old guy. Who are you calling old? I'm only 46. That totally makes you old. And who are you? Students from Jujutsu High? The hell are sorcerers from Jujutsu High doing all the way out in the boonies? You know about Jujutsu High? I'd better, because I graduated from there. How else I could have been able to pull this off? Crap, he's my senpai? We're here on an exorcism mission. We heard there was a man-eating shark. Is that you, old man? Do I look like I'd eat a person? I hadn't had a decent meal at all lately, just booze and snacks. That's a problem in and of itself. The name's Osada, and just like I said, I'm a former Jujutsu sorcerer. A man-eating tiger is what's been appearing here. His name is Torinosuke, and I've been chasing after him. A tiger? You mean a wild tiger is in Japan? Tiger? Over a quarter of a century ago, a pair of tigers brought in by illegal foreign traders made this mountain their home. And Torinosuke's their grandkid, product of interbreeding. He's been a real smart tiger ever since he was little. Even though we can't speak the same language, we knew exactly what the other was thinking just by looking at each other's eyes. Recently, a massive solar plant near the top of the mountain, which was at the end of its operational run, was refreshed with funds from the Paranormal Treaty. But because of that, this river dried up, and the heat probably played a part in it too. The river drying up destroys the whole ecosystem. Torinosuke came down the mountain looking for a source of water and some prey, and that's when he offed those villagers. And then the villagers saw you trying to take down the tiger. Basically, my curse technique, Seance, allows me to summon and draw out the powers of whatever I wear, regardless of location. Don't blame the villagers for getting the wrong idea. No one's blaming them. I do want to blame you, though, old Sada. But I don't want Torinosuke to die. I want to save him. A beast who killed people must be exterminated, especially now that he's got the taste for humans. You don't gotta tell me that, kid. But the difference is, he was chased out of his home because of human circumstances, and now you want to kill him because of human circumstances. I don't get along with the villagers, and my house is real far away from town. So you're saying you can keep a tiger safely there? I'm a Jujutsu sorcerer. I can manage a tiger or two if I gotta. The answer's obviously no. If we're talking about safety in a natural ecosystem, then extermination should have started with Torinosuke's grandparents. But I chose the path of coexistence, and I can't change my mind about it now. Coexistence. Please, Tsurugi, I'm asking on his behalf too. I said no. What would you do if that tiger ends up killing more people? What, you mean like take responsibility and slit my belly? I'm saying even if you did, it's not like that helped the victims or their bereaved family. Stop right there. He's close. Why the hell do you think I summoned a shark, huh? This nose is made for smelling blood. I know you're over there, Torinosuke. That's right. You've always been smart. Old Sada! Tsurugi, please wait. No, it's fine. Old Sada. Don't worry. I'm alone too. Whoa, sorry, Ma. I know you're still alive. But kid, your parents will go before you someday. Being alone ain't all bad, though. I just know it'll make you stronger. But if you're ever in real trouble, you can come to my place anytime. Since you came back to see me again, I thought maybe, just maybe, but the one I knew back then is gone, ain't he? There's no getting through to you now, is there? Just don't let him suffer. I'm begging you. Sorry I made you take on such an awful task. It's fine. It's my job. You really are a Jujutsu sorcerer. Maru. My job is to gather enough information to decide whether or not we can coexist with humans. My curse technique is shared with my younger twin brother, so I'm forbidden to use it except for emergencies. Twin brother? My brother can tell if I use a lot of energy. If it ever gets to the point where I have to use my power, it would only make him trust Earthlings less. That's why I hesitated before. It wasn't because I didn't care about the Earthling children's lives. I'm sorry. Should you really be telling me all of this? Not at all. I'd appreciate it if you kept it a secret. Why'd you decide to tell me then? Because I want to be friends. Maybe that tiger and us aliens are similar, but at least you and I can speak the same language. That's why I want to tell you about myself as much as I can. Meow. It had a cub? Tsurugi, wait! Old Sada, don't take your eyes off it this time. I won't. You sure about this? Doesn't matter. Nobody knows how that cub will turn out. Just like with us. Yeah, you're right. You look just like me when I was young. I should really be going now. And that's where the chapter ends, my friends. Alright, we swapping back over. I like this chapter. Y'all already knew that, though. Alright, what I... Hold up, gotta catch up. Old Sada with the 6 eyes solos the verse for real, though. The live is not about to end. No, sir. No, sir. Welcome in. Yeah, the shark had to be a reference to that meme. I feel like Gege Akutami is, like, chronically online, so it kind of checks out. Summarize the chapter for those just joining. I don't know if that was a troll or not. Yo, Blink, thank you, man. Enough time has passed. Welcome back, Yuji Itadori. I mean, you know, that tiger kind of is him. What would shock you more, Gojo alive or Hunter x Hunter Shippuden? Well, what do you mean by Hunter x Hunter Shippuden? Like an entirely new series? Or just the continuation? Yeah, this chapter was kind of supernatural vibes. Do I think the aliens are cursed spirits? No. Yo, Blink, thank you, man. I didn't even notice. Mongo, what will you do in 20 years when that baby deer that slept on your porch comes back and kills people? Oh, man. That would be on me, huh? How long do deers live? I actually have no idea. Like, if like a deer does die of old age, I wonder how old that is. How many deer do you think die of old age? Probably not many. I enjoyed the chapter. I think he can get a little too hammer over the head with the tiger and the alien allegory. I don't fault you for that, but what's crazy is some people still didn't pick up on it. Dang, 5 years in the wild, 20 in captivity. That's crazy. Is Modulo the continuation of Jujutsu? Yeah. It is indeed. It is a matter of reading comprehension, and unfortunately, most people lack it. At least most people that are loud on the internet. All right. One of the most interesting things from this chapter, I think, is this relationship between Maru and Cross and how they use their... I don't want to call it a curse technique because I don't think that's an appropriate way to describe it. I think these aliens just use sorcery differently, right? So I guess for lack of a better word, we'll call it curse technique, but I don't think that's a fair way to describe it. But it's interesting that they share it. Like, at the very least, we know they have a connection where they can sense to some extent what the other is doing, but like, I wonder if they even can, like something we talked about, I think, I don't remember when we talked about this, maybe it was last week, but like, it would be interesting if like, if Maru uses it, then like it literally transfers to Cross, and like Maru can't use it until Cross uses it. But I wouldn't guess that that's how it works, but that would be a cool dynamic. Who would I like to be a descendant of in Modulo? I don't know. I mean, I guess an Akotsu's not bad because you're crazy powerful bloodline and presumably very rich since they're injected into the Gojo clan. Be a little Jujutsu Nepo, baby. Toto? You know Toto's my goat, but I think there's better options. Yeah, Pinnacle, I'd agree. I'm interested to see just how they all use their cursed energy. Yeah, Jordan, it could be like a new manifestation of that type of... Or not manifestation, but like a new example of that type of twin. What's the deal with the horn guy? He barely looks like the same species. True. And all like, and then there's the Tengen looking guy who isn't... I just don't know how else to describe that guy besides Tengen looking guy. But he looks completely different from the twins and the captain as well. Yeah, he has a name, but it's like Jabba the Hutt. But I feel like most people wouldn't know who I was talking about. Yeah, they're shaped like Tengen, but they don't look like Tengen. The artwork is 90s coded for sure. Yeah, I wonder if this will get like an adaptation at some point. Feels like it probably would. Yeah, it could just be that like there are on whatever planet they were on, like multiple like humanoid species evolved. Yeah, CQ, I agree. Do I think there will be another Six Eyes Limitless user? I don't know. I have a video where I talk about if Gojo was the last one ever. I don't think there's gonna be one in this series at the very least. Yeah, I'm curious, like, so we know that Maru and Cross shared their power, right? We don't exactly know how it works, but we know that happens. But I wonder if that's like, I wonder how deep that connection goes. Like, is it just like a sense of like Cross gets like a ping, like, oh, Maru just used his ability, or like, do they literally like share sensory input? You know what I mean? Like, does Cross know what happened even? Like, if he uses the power, does Cross like have an awareness of the situation in which it happened, or does he just know that it happened? Because again, there was that moment in chapter 1 where he seemingly like beamed in some information, but like that might have even been something else, like where maybe Maru or whoever like willingly like transmitted that information versus like him just knowing because they share an awareness or something. I don't even know if anyone's tracking with what I'm saying right now. I'm kind of rambling. Do I have any Hunter x Hunter videos planned? Nothing like planned right now. Obviously when it comes back, I'll be making videos on it. CQ, that's an interesting point. But that could be true. But I still think there's room for it to not be mutually exclusive. Because like even if, let's say they did like share an awareness and Cross did see what was going on, Maru could just think the way his brother would interpret that as like, oh, there's humans out here, they're trafficking children. Like he might use that as like, oh, all humans, they're evil. See, like we can't coexist with them. I did see that mistranslation in Kagurabachi. Classic. I shouldn't say classic. Kagurabachi hasn't been too bad about that, but there have been a few big things. What if it's not cursed energy? What if it's just similar? I think we're probably getting into semantics territory here. But I think like if we drill down to the essence, I think it's the same thing. It's just humans call it cursed energy and use it like this, and aliens call it whatever and use it like this. Oops, I just pulled one of my keys off my keyboard. Oh god, what am I doing? Here we go. Who would win, Jogo or Maharaga? I think I have a video on that, but it depends. I think Jogo's capable of killing Maharaga, but Maharaga can also one-tap Jogo. How do the twins share a curse technique if two people can't have one curse technique at once? We have seen curse techniques that are similar but are very confusing. There's a couple things there. Two people can have the same curse technique at once. Like, as in, curse techniques can exist across multiple people at the same time, like with projection sorcery, for example, in the Zenin clan. But, there's a lot of unknowns here, so we can't really, like, say anything definitively. But if Maru... Well, first and foremost, they're aliens, right? So the way that cursed energy manifests and powers are utilized might just be different than in JJK as we understand it, right? But it could also be, like we were alluding to earlier, they might be a case of the identical twins that share an amniotic sac and share a placenta, which is like Maki and Mai, and presumably like Sukuna and his twin brother, whereas like Jujutsu does weird stuff with them. The Maru and Cross might be viewed as one person that both are sharing the same curse technique. I think we'll see Rika in some form or fashion. Do I think Tengen is from their planet or universe? I don't know. I don't think Tengen would be like from their planet, like direct. Like Tengen could have some sort of relation or shared ancestry, but I don't think that, you know, Tengen crash landed on a spaceship and lived out her life like immediately, if that makes sense. I don't think we'll see much of the OG JJK either. I don't know how Tsurugi will grow in power. His heavenly restriction is kind of confusing. Yo, Evan, thank you, man. I think Gege will make another series about Toji. Probably not, but I mean, who knows, right? I guess it just kind of depends on whatever he wants to do. A Toji series of him in heaven. What's my favorite manga right now? Like, manga that I'm actively reading week to week would be Kagurabachi. As soon as Hunter x Hunter comes back, that's my answer, though. Yo, Bold, thank you for subscribing, man. Also, Quit and Karina, thank you guys. And Cynthia for subscribing. Appreciate y'all. I know you love Kagurabachi like me, but is there any flaw you see in the series? I mean, it's not, yeah, nothing's perfect. But, I mean, there's nothing I would singularly, like, point out, like, oh, Kagurabachi is really suffering from this. Hunter mid-Hunter? How dare you? Do I want some of the OG cast to come back, or would I want the story to completely stay away from them? I mean, in a vacuum, I wouldn't care either way, but for this, it seems like this story isn't focusing on them, so I don't really... Like, I'm not opposed to the OG cast showing up, of course not, but like, if it was just pure fan service, then, you know, it wouldn't mean much. So I don't know. I mean, like, again, it being a short run 30 chapter series, I just don't really expect them to, beyond like a mention or a flashback or something. Yo, Noah, thank you for the sub, man. How would you feel if Nanami returned in the next chapter? That'd be peak. Obviously. Let's get my goat on that vacation. So this could be 30 chapters. That's not like a hard number. We don't know for sure, but it's only going to be around that many. Like Gege said, 6 months, 3 volumes, basically 30 chapters. You don't want them to come back because you're afraid your ships will get debunked? Who are your ships? Yo, Gaming Cafe, thank you for the donuts, man. Oh my god, can you imagine if Gege just made it canon that Yuji bagged Jennifer Lawrence? Cowboy Bebop vibes? Yes, I love Cowboy Bebop, man. How old would Higuruma be? He'd be pretty old, because he was already older than the main cast, right? So he would be like 90 something. Do I believe if Modulo gained more popularity, Gege would expand the story? I don't think so. Like, maybe it would inspire him to, like, do yet another story set in the JJK verse, but I doubt he would just, like, decide to keep it going just to keep it going if he already has, you know, like a structure and an idea for the story he wants to tell, and that is 30 chapters. I hope he doesn't, because that's how you get something that's phoned in and not great usually. If people, you know, just continue it to cash in. Hey, I'd love to see Higuruma again. I just don't know how much he's going to be getting up to in his late 90s. Gojo come back, chapter 4. Hold up. The TikTok stream just started freaking out on my end, but I think we're okay. The only reason I don't think Yuji is like literally still like whatever, like in a 30-year-old body because of his, you know, unique situation. Well, one, I just don't think that would happen to begin with, but let's just say it would happen. The fact that that guy, the kidnapper, referred to there not being anyone like Gojo and Yuji around these days doesn't make much sense as a statement if Yuji is still like in his prime out in the streets. You know what I mean? Like, could he still be alive? Sure. But if he is, I think he's an old man. And he's not really, you know, super active. That's not to say he still wouldn't be a beast. I think old man Yuji would still definitely be one. Will I be watching JJK Execution? Of course. Yuji definitely still got them paws. What if one of the aliens brought Gojo back? How funny would that be? If just like one of the, like, that's part of what they can do with their power. They're like, oh yeah, you want to bring somebody back? We got you. Miwa or Han Arasukuna? That's tough, man. That's tough. Is Miwa trying? Zarion says, do you think people are going to realize this alien introduction is a social commentary on alienization IRL? I would hope so. I would hope so. It feels like, you know, that's pretty in your face. But knowing the Jujutsu Kaisen fan base, I'm sure many people have not had the slightest clue. Do I like Doritos? Hell yeah. I actually, dude, pigged out on some chips this weekend because we went camping. So we brought a lot of like snacks, you know? Definitely had like the worst stomach ache because I housed like an entire huge bag. No, I don't think, I think you meant like immigration. Hyper, we were talking about that a little bit earlier. I think that Modulo definitely will get an animation. I was gonna say anime adaptation, but maybe it might just get like a movie, you know, since it's only 30 chapters. Either a movie or like a short run series. But like we were saying, like it's too popular of an IP. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even if it was trash, like even if after these 30 chapters in and everyone is unanimously like, oh yeah, that was a huge stinker, I think it still would, just because JJK is just gonna print money. It's not like confirmed to be exactly 30, but it's confirmed to be a short run series that, like I said, would likely be 3 volumes long, which would mean roughly 30 chapters. Oh, I didn't even know TCB was back. Are they back? Because they like shut down after JJK ended. So I hadn't even seen any of TCB yet. I have not watched Infinity Castle yet. Who was in the last panel at the end of last chapter? That was Yuka and the villagers. Oh, TCB's been doing One Piece? At least, so, I mean, for all I know, TCB's been around the whole time, but at least like the TCB that I used to use for original JJK, like that, their like whole website and stuff shut down. Yo, Libre, thank you for subscribing over on YouTube, man. For anyone that hasn't subscribed yet and you're in this live stream, I mean, you might as well, right? We don't really know what to, I don't really know what to call Tengen. Is they became a cursed spirit, or at least something more akin to a cursed spirit, right? Then they got absorbed by Kenjaku, and then they got eaten by Sukuna. And their remains or what they gathered afterwards. So the fact that the remains was used, I would imagine that Tengen's dead. The Tengen had such a weird existence in the first place. Like, who knows? Like, maybe... I don't know. I would imagine they're dead, though. But maybe they have some kind of pseudo-curse existence. Are cursed spirits gone? No. But like they mentioned, it seems as if they've largely contained them to Tokyo. I don't know why they would only be in Tokyo now. It's interesting though. Like we don't have enough information, right? But considering if Tengen is dead, which is the presumption, right? Then like was alluded to at the end of JJK, that's eventually going to cause a problem for all the barriers Tengen had set up, right? So maybe over the past 70 years, the barriers that were previously all across Japan have maybe now they've managed to only kind of keep it in a Tokyo-based area. I mean, that could explain why curses are only there, and it could also explain why sorcerers are so much weaker. If there's only like a smaller concentrated area where they can really exist. Is Megami Slander banned? Does... Wait, I don't know. I don't even know which mods are in here right now. I didn't do anything. Did one of the mods delete some Megami Slander? Will I ever make a second channel? I don't know. I've thought about it. Like, I thought about making a new channel for like One Piece stuff. But I don't know if I don't know if that's smart or dumb. I don't really want to make another channel. It's like a lot of work. I'd rather just keep it all in one place, but the algorithm sometimes screws you when you get like too niched in. Pinnacle said, is Tengen still inside of Sukuna's remains? It would be poetic if his remains ended up being what protected Jujutsu Society. I don't think so, just because, like, the Sukuna that ate Tengen was like Megami, you know what I mean? Like, he was just like that cursed energy, basically, that dissipated at the end of JJK. So, I don't think that there were no, like, Sukuna remains from the Sukuna we saw. But there is still that mummified Sukuna of his original body that was, you know, in Tengen's corridor or whatever. So, like, sort of. But it at least wouldn't be, like, Tengen as a part of Sukuna. I think one of Yuta's grandkids will pass to give the other strength. I wouldn't think so, because they're not twins, you know? And so, like, they at least shouldn't be operating on the same principle that Maki and Mai did. But, I mean, maybe Gege is going to reveal some more stuff about how that type of stuff works, and we'll like maybe we find out it's not exclusive to those types of twins, but that would be weird to me. WASD says, someone probably asked you this already, but who's your favorite out of the main three in Modulo? Right now, either Tsurugi or Maru. I was saying because those are the two that have so far gotten the most development, so they're the most interesting to me. That's not to say that I don't like Yuka. Pinnacle, I might need to go refresh myself, so don't quote me on it, but what I was remembering was that Tengen's remains were gathered from Sukuna. Like, after the end of that fight, they made sure to grab Tengen's remains. But again, I don't, like, there is no corpse for Sukuna, right? Because he was just, again, that, like, cursed energy manifest over Megami's body, which like dissipated. So I don't really think there would be anything left of that version of Sukuna. Yo, Board Drawer, thank you for subscribing over on YouTube, man. I really like Yuka's design as well. I've been seeing some awesome like fan art of her too. Am I concerned with poor writing, cheap sequel? No. I think Ege Akutami is a good writer. Excuse me. Dragon says, was copy Yuta's technique prior to Rika's creation? What would be the activation requirement in that case? Yeah, it's a good question. It's very nebulous on the relationship between copy and Rika. Because like in the Jujutsu Kaisen fan book, Yuta's curse technique is called Rika. So there's probably just a little bit of like Jujutsu Kaisen 0 being written first as a standalone story, you know, that then was expanded. So there was probably like a little bit of like kind of retroactively setting the canon with Yuta. But so I do think it's more fair to say that Rika is his cursed technique more so than copy. Is there a free way to read the JJK manga? So, Nolan, if you mean the sequel, Modulo, you can always read the most recent 3 chapters for free. So, as of right now, that would be all of Modulo. So, if you go ahead and catch up, then come next week when Chapter 4 drops, you'll be able to read that. But you'll no longer be able to read Chapter 1. But then, obviously, there's places you can find anything for free on the internet. You know what I mean? Should you keep reading Kagurabachi? Yes. How far are you? He did use copy in JJK 0, but he had Rika in JJK 0. I am wearing contacts. I have terrible eyesight. Yeah, Pinnacle. It could. I mean, it could just be like a semantics thing, you know. Like, even if we want to call it Sukuna's remains, I think the reason those are important is because of the connection to Tengen. But so if that is true and it is like a chunk of Sukuna, then to return back to your original comment, then yeah, that is poetic. How much did my contacts cost? I don't know. They're not cheap though, but you buy like a bunch at a time. Such a strange question. I mean, probably a couple $100, but you know, that's like, I mean, they'll last a while. Guy says he's on chapter 33 of Kagurabachi. Absolutely keep going. But I mean, if you're 33 chapters deep though, and you just like don't like it at all, then I mean, don't keep going. But I think Kagurabachi has only consistently gotten better. um, Dragon, I think so. He said if Maki died, do you think Mai's cursed energy reserves would have like gone up? And I think that's like the natural conclusion to make, but I mean, I guess we can't say for sure. But in my estimation, I think that's what happened with Suguna. Do I find it strange that the ending to JJK seemed rushed, but now there's a sequel randomly? No, I don't think the two things are connected. Like, the ending of JJK being rushed wasn't Gege Akutami's doing. It was a product of his circumstance. So, if anything, that might have contributed to why he was motivated to do a sequel, you know? Maybe he wished it hadn't have been so rushed and got a chance to kind of flex a little bit more with what he wanted to do. Luke says, did Modulo kind of intentionally touch the immigration issue? A million percent. It's absolutely a social commentary. Which Gege is no stranger to. They should have given me the 10 shadows. Jojo says, what's up with Maru holding the globe? Is it just because he's an interstellar traveler? That's a good question. It could be as simple as that, you know, like here's aliens visiting from the outside world. Or maybe there's something more there that we just don't have enough to really piece together yet. I don't think Yuji will be fleshed out in the sequel. I don't think it's his story. Do I think Yuji will have a fight in the sequel? Probably not. I mean, who know? I mean, he could. Who knows, right? But I wouldn't. I wouldn't think so, based upon what we're seemingly getting. Yeah, that's a cool idea, Pinnacle. I think any of the current characters have a domain expansion. I mean, who do you mean by current characters? I don't think any of the main characters do. I mean, I guess Yuka is the only one that even could, right? Yeah, it'd be cool to see some flashbacks. Sorry, one sec, y'all. Do I think the aliens have their own versions of domains? Maybe. I don't think they have literally domain expansions, though. But I wouldn't be surprised if they have a similar pinnacle use of their power. Do I think that Usami is related to Usami? Probably. It's probably his grandson. I mean, we just we don't know enough about how Ino's technique works, but considering it was never brought up that they die, I don't know. I just would imagine they don't. Yo, I'm so far behind on Sakamoto Days, I just realized. I think I have like 4 or 5 episodes. Maybe. I do want to read Chainsaw Man. It's just a little bit down the priority list right now. I gotta. One Piece is my number one priority of things I don't talk about right now that I want to. Actually, since I was out of town this weekend, I need to. There's a lot of Sakamoto days I need to catch up on. There's a lot of Gachi Akuta I need to catch up on. I didn't see the finale of Dandadan yet. I didn't see Kaiju number 8 yet. I stopped. I didn't stop, but the last episode I saw of Sakamoto Days, I think, was the old man Takamura episode where he fought Slur. Yeah, I've watched all of Dragon Ball, all of Dragon Ball Z, and chunks of Super. I didn't like watch Super start to finish, but I saw the big parts. All right. We'll talk JJK for maybe like another 5 minutes. But since I don't have too long to stream, I do want to do some Kagurabachi yap as well. I mean, if there's even people here that want to yap about Kagurabachi. Wait, you will never forget my underwear on Leaks Night stream? What does that even mean? Well, it's officially spelled Modulo, Modulo, but there's some wiggle room on the pronunciation because there's some nuance with how Japanese is translated. So, I mean, Modulo is technically correct, but you know, there's an argument to be made for Majuro as well. Absolute Joker does look crazy. I want to read Absolute Batman. Never read Kagurabachi. Can you make it interesting for me in a few words? Um Hmm. I don't know how to make it interesting for you necessarily, but like swords with special abilities that are basically as powerful as nukes when it comes to warfare are stolen, and the son of the kid who made them vows to get them all back. It's good. Like, it's legitimately good. Could Old Man Yuji have a gravity technique? No, I don't think so. Alrighty, y'all. Hold on. Boom. Alrighty. We gonna be... Oh, who's calling me? Again, assuming there's actually people that want to yap Kagurabachi, we will be shifting to that. So, spoilers beware for those of you that haven't read it. Not that we, like, won't talk any more Modulo, but I just want to spoiler warning for if we do talk about Kagurabachi. From 1 to Hunter x Hunter, how good is this new manga? Are you talking about Modulo or Kagurabachi? You're probably talking about Modulo. I mean, 3 chapters is too soon to tell. But I'm liking it so far. Chaircoon's here. Don't worry. Can you see him? I want to check out Kagurabachi, but I just can't when it comes down to sitting and reading, but I really want to check it out. Well, KM, if it interests you, I have a whole playlist where I basically narrate the chapters, just like I do for JJK. So I do it starting from chapter 1, and we do the entire first arc. And then I have a video where I talk about the next arc in its entirety. And then when I get caught up, I go back to chapter by chapter. So if you want to try it out without reading it, you could give those a shot. I think that Kukuri holding on to Subaru's blade or the female wielder's blade. I don't know. It's a good question. I do like your noticed detail there of how he was standing in the frozen fish section. So I do think that would be a really cool little Easter egg, for lack of a better word. Do we know who has the other blade? Or is that a mystery? Like who the intended wielder of the final unrevealed Swordmaster is? Who's my Kagurabachi top 10? That's tough. I mean, obviously the sword bearers, I would say. But it's like with or without their blades, you know. I like the strongest people right now is obviously Samura with his blade. Yura, considering what just happened. But it's hard, like Yura's kind of cheating though, right? So it's hard to say how strong he actually is. Clearly Hakuto is up there. Aruha, I think even without his blade, is up there. With his blade, he's at the very top amongst some of the others. I think Chihiro's top 10, probably more toward the bottom of that list, though. I think my GOAT Double H is top 10, especially with the blade. Shiba, obviously top 10. Yuki, probably top 10. Yeah, yeah. Obviously, Sword Saint number one if he's, you know, out there with his blade. Yeah, so there's two swords we haven't seen yet, but we know that Yura is the intended wielder of the Senuchi, right? We know that Double H has the Kumiyori. We know that Kuguri has one of them. I don't think we know who the planned wielder of the other one is. Like, cause I might just be forgetting, but we know that Kuguri is like walking around with his, right? Have we seen any of the other Hishaku walking around with a blade they're not using? Guess I'm yawning once you start. Yeah, Dragon, I like that too. Or says, what games are you playing? Anything you want to stream? I have so many games I want to play. I really just got to carve out time intentionally for it. Like I've been doing these types of streams instead of the games recently, because I feel like I know some people would be down for the gaming streams, but I think most people aren't that interested. They're more interested in this type of thing. But I want to do both. It's just I got to make time for it. I do think a tier list would be fun to do. I would want to try to get like a whole like bunch of tier lists people wanted to go over, and then we just do a stream where we do them. Yeah, it would make sense for Hokuto to be the sword bearer. But it's just weird that like he's not carrying it with him like Kuguri is. But maybe he just isn't like as obsessed in the same way. There's actually this indie game. I can't remember what it's called. But like I added it to my Steam wishlist like 2 or 3 years ago. It was at one of those events. Like I can't think of what any of them are called right now. But you know how there's like the gaming events where they just show like 50 trailers and it's all about like hyping up games. There was like an indie game version of that. Again, like years ago. And I was like, oh, this looks cool. And ever since I've been like, hey, did that game ever come out? And it finally did, like last week. So I kind of want to play that. Yeah, CQ, you know what I mean though. Like Hakuto definitely is obsessed, which makes it weird. It makes me think maybe he's not the intended wielder, because wouldn't he be carrying that thing with him and wanting to use it at his first chance? But like maybe he's just not obsessed in the same way. I could also see him maybe like not even wanting to wield a blade, like in terms of like testing himself, like thinking like, oh, I don't need one, like let me see how I stack up just on my own. I don't know. Yo, Alex, what's good, man? Wonder why Hokuto didn't go fight Samura. Well, I think it's mostly because Samura's been on their team. You know what I mean? He probably would have wanted to. Crockett, yeah, I think there's absolutely survivors of Shikoku. For sure. As to if we've seen any of them, probably. I don't have any good guesses as to like who might be from the island though. Alex, I'm happy to hear that, man. I don't think he expected Double H and Samar to fight necessarily, but was prepared for it, I guess. I mean, because they were trying to keep it on the down low, right? Like they wanted her as a like a bargaining chip. I think in a perfect world, they were hoping they could just like abduct her and Samara would never even know. Do I think Modulo should be a longer sequel, or did Gege make the right choice to make it short? I mean, maybe a question we could re-examine after it's over, but I would trust the author in this case. You know, if you have an intended story and you feel like that story can be told in 30 chapters, I think it's, in most cases, less is more. I think you start getting into poor quality when you just try to make something longer for the sake of making it longer. True, they start the invasion then, but they do mention like having multiple plans depending on how that plays out, right? So it could just be that they think Chihiro and Samura are fighting. I don't think. I mean, I could be wrong, but the impression I got, and maybe I need to reread it because it's been a minute. The impression I got is that I don't think he was like intending for Double H to face off against Samura. I think Double H kind of let the moment get the better of him, wanting to test himself against Chihiro, which also kind of just meant engaging with Samura as well. So how exactly did Yura use the Sanuchi's power? Because it was explained a little weird. So this is how I'm taking it. You guys can let me know what you think. But he imbued his spirit energy into the blade prior to putting it up for auction. Which I guess because if it's a product of the Sanuchi or it's a product of the Sword Saint, people can kind of channel the power of the blade if they put their own energy into it. So because Yura did that, he is now either channeling the blade or letting himself be channeled by the Sword Saint in order to access its power. Yo, Halliford, thank you so much, man. Yeah, I'm interested to see what the plan is with Samura, considering it didn't go their way. Meaning Chihiro got through to him and he's going to help Chihiro now. Because we know that Yura had a plan for that. And maybe his plan is invoking the Sanuchi. Maybe he thinks with that power he could defeat Samura. Or maybe there's a whole other contingency in place. Or maybe they plan on freeing the Sword Saint to deal with him or something. What do I think about the old sorcerer having seance? If he holds the finger, can he bring Sukuna back? I don't think so. I don't think his seance is like the grandma's seance. You think the Yura is the Sword Saint theory is dead now? I think it's more so dead for sure. I think there still could be some connective tissue there, but it at least doesn't appear as if Yura like literally is him. Are the Kagurabachi chapters long? Is it hard to catch up? I mean, they're the same length as any other manga, any other shonen. The first chapter's long, but all first chapters are long, you know? Like the first chapter's like 50 pages, and then from there on out, it's like an average of 20. Ooh, Jamie says, does Chihiro get to the headquarters before Aruha dies and saves him? Unlike last time. That would be a cool parallel. I mean, I do expect Chihiro and Samura to show up before anyone dies. But maybe I don't know why I think that. To me, I'm imagining just like everything hitting the fan all at once. But certainly Aruha and Natsuki are not in a good position right now. I mean, this artwork shows as much, right? I'm very curious what's about to unfold in these next few chapters. Which enchanted blade would I want to have? Oh man. Well, of the ones we know so far, right? Obviously, Inten is cool because you can use everyone else's ability, you know? So that's probably the answer at the end of the day. Just because you kind of have your cake and eat it too. But Cloud Gouger is really cool too. I think Aruha is safe from a narrative perspective because he already died once. Maybe? I mean, I do see what people are saying there, but I don't think that just means he's safe. Like, I get what people are saying, but you could just as easily turn that on its head and be like subverting expectations by killing him again because everyone thinks he's safe. So I think it could go either way. Yeah, play would be cool. What JJK character do I think would fit best in Kagurabachi? Well, I have a whole video where I talk about who I would give the Enchanted Blades to. But probably Toji or Maki. Or Daido. Who do y'all think the traitor is? You think Kasen or Kasen, however you say it? He definitely seems sus, but it seemed almost too on the nose. I thought the volume kind number. What did I just say? The volume 9 cover was peak. I don't think Char's done. Like, I think we'll get more Char, but I don't know if she'll play a massive part necessarily. But I think her clan and her healing ability is definitely gonna be relevant. Think Sheba's a traitor? Not my goat. Ooh, traitor, but with a backup plan. I would vibe with that. Yeah, Kudo was definitely extremely sus to me until he died. And then I thought his death was a fake out. And I guess it still could be a fake out. And Ichiki was a massive suspect for me, but this chapter pretty much exonerated him. I wonder what's gonna happen with Hakari, because like we know that Kasen said no, like he didn't want to let, or at least I'm assuming he didn't want to let Hakari store the blade. But like I wonder if like hands could even be thrown in this room right now of like team Hakari and Azumi being like, no, he's storing that blade. Like I wonder, I don't know. I know some people were speculating like maybe Hakari even storing the blade is what the Hishaku want. But we also know that they've been trying to kill him, so that really wouldn't make sense unless it was like a double fake out. You know, like let's make it think we want to kill him so that they think we're afraid of him storing the blade when in actuality that's what we want. I don't know. Like I don't know what Yura's plan is now cuz like with what we know right now, this should kill him. And like the way it was presented was him being like, "Okay, I got to do what I got to do. Let me activate this power even though I know it'll kill me." Like he even calls it like a suicide mission, right? Now he's not necessarily referring to what he's doing, but he's referring to wielding the Sanuchi, which is what he's doing, right? So either he's found some sort of workaround where it won't kill him, or he's trading his life for the cause. And if he's trading the life for his life for the cause, then he'll never get the opportunity to wield the blade, right? So what does he actually want? Maybe just to free the Sword Saint? I don't know. Like, I simultaneously hope that Yura doesn't die because he's a cool character and I'd like to see more from him. But at the same time, I think that would be a really cool move, like story-wise. So I'm kind of torn. What's the image on the screen from? It's from Kagurabachi. Yeah, CQ, that's a good point. But it could... That's a good point. And we don't have enough information to say. But it could be that, like, even if he hadn't have died from his other wounds, he would have effectively died because he would have been, like, possessed by the Sword Saint. Like, he would have been taken over. But, like, what's even the end game there? Like... You know, I guess we don't know enough, but like, what happens to someone who's taken over by the Sword Saint that doesn't die from a wound? Like, are they just like used up to where they'll die from that experience? Are they like literally like, can the Sword Saint just manifest in their body as if it's his own and just live as long as they live? Like, so it could be suicide insofar as like your existence will cease. Yeah, Hiyuki is dope. I'm excited to see more of her and Shiba. I feel like when Samura showing up has to his opponent has to be either Yura or the Sword Saint, right? Like no one else can really stack up, I would imagine. So if he does show up literally this next chapter, then maybe it's him and Yura that battle it out. Or Chihiro versus Yura, Samura versus Sword Saint if he breaks out. I don't know. Like, do we think Chihiro could even at all dance with Senuchi Hira? I mean, he just danced with Enchanted Blade Samura, so probably. I don't know though. I mean, I wonder what Akka on the Senuchi would even do. Wait, did we see Chihiro do that already? Did he do that in the auction arc? He did dance with Kiora, but that was like a 3v1 basically. But he's also leveled up a bunch since then. Also, what's interesting is presumably when Yura's eyes get the Sword Saint vibe, like given what we know now, was that him tapping into the power of the blade? And if so, what was that moment with the coin toss? Like, did he like is there some property of the Senuchi that allowed him to see the future? Or what was that truly a gamble that he did not know the answer to and he was willing to stake everything on a coin flip for directions to the bathroom? And then there was also that moment in the fight with Aruha that he did it. I don't really know what the purpose of that moment would have been. Unless maybe he's just like, maybe he gets like an awareness of what's happening around the blade and or the Sword Saint. Like if he wants, like he can kind of like tap in and see. And maybe he was like getting a time frame on like, oh, okay, Kaisen's in the room now or something. I don't know. I think his eyes darkening signify the Sword Saint attempting to exert control. I mean, it could be. I don't think that would make as much sense, though, considering the moments where we see it happen. And also, I mean, again, we don't really know enough to say how this works one way or the other. But it seems as if the Sword Saint can't attempt to exert control until you, like, use the ability, right? Because it never attempted to take over Kiora that we're aware of until he started using the abilities. Yeah, that would be cool. And if we're just going for broke here, maybe there even is some sort of like future sight ability or some sort of premonition ability, which could then explain maybe why the Sword Saint was like, no freaking peace treaty, like they must be annihilated. Like maybe he knew something. And I'm not saying like Sword Saint secretly the good guy necessarily, but maybe there's just more than meets the eye here. And maybe there is some way that he knew the future and knew that like, no, they gotta die. Yo, Destiny, what's good, man? I think there must be, again, not that Sword Saint secretly good guy all along, but I do think there must be some reason he did what he did. Even if it's an evil reason or, you know, like beyond just, oh, he went crazy and killed 200,000 people just because he went crazy. Like, I think there has to be some motivation there. Yo, Destiny, I appreciate you, man. Are you reading Kagurabachi? Oh, and bless, this is from Kagurabachi, latest chapter. Free the Sword Saint, you did nothing wrong. Yo, Blur, you were just talking about it right now. Yeah, I saw AB say, why would Chihiro's dad make a sword capable of this? It's a good question. I think, I mean, he likely maybe didn't intend to make something with like exactly that capability, but you know, there was a war. He was trying to help his country. I think it obviously got away from him. I mean, we have the obvious Oppenheimer parallels, kind of ashamed and afraid of his own creation. So I would imagine it like it wasn't his intent to create exactly what they became. Destiny, dude, I totally get it. You should pick it back up because not that the first chapters are bad by any means, and especially once you get to like the first big fight, it's so good, but it only gets better. I love Sojo. He was like one of my first favorites. Well, I'll hold that thought since I know some people in here haven't read it yet. But I love Sojo. I've heard of Ultimate Exorcist Kiyoshi, but I haven't read it. I don't believe in spoilers. All I was gonna say is that when he died, I was sad, and my first thought was one of Cope. I was like, oh, maybe he's not actually dead. It seems as if he is, but you know what? I'd be here for it if he came back somehow. Although, and not that it would at all be the same as his coming back, but it would be really interesting if he is the Sword Saint's brother. I don't know if you guys have seen that theory. We're definitely gonna see Kid Sojo in a flashback. I mean, I could see it, especially since we now know that Hokazono loves Sojo as well. Like, he might think of any excuse to be able to draw him again. Hokuto is really cool. I mean, some people have to be dying in the next few chapters, wouldn't you guys say? Like, I mean, not that they like literally have to, but like, I can't imagine getting out of this arc without some casualties, considering like everyone is about to converge on the same spot here. Toji versus Samura. I don't know. The cross-verse scaling is hard, but if one had to go, Yura or Hokuto? I don't know, because like I said earlier, like if Yura died here, I would be sad because I think he's a cool character, but at the exact same time, I think that would be really cool because I think that would be a pretty big subversion. Like, and I think that would make him a badass character that like truly was like willing to put his life on the line for the cause, and he does so. So my answer would be I'd rather Yura stay in the story, like if I can only keep one of those two. But if one of them died, I think Yura's death would be cooler. Like, it would be a more impactful moment and a more like character solidifying moment. I'm kind of like having my cake and eating it too with that answer, but yo, Neil, thank you for subscribing over on YouTube, man. can't wait for Kagurabachi to wrap up and get a sequel where aliens pull up. Yes, I was just about to say something like, yeah, maybe the Shikoku residents are aliens. I mean, this island just appears out of nowhere. Might as well be. They're both immigrants. You don't think anyone's gonna die? Or do you just mean you don't think either Yura or Hakuto's gonna die? Because, like, surely someone's gonna bite the bullet in this fight. No, I don't think Gojo or Sukuna is making a comeback. Bro, is it just me, or do y'all get like these spam texts and emails all the time? I feel like my number must have like leaked in one of those data leaks, because I've been getting them so much recently. I like Natsuki too. I think that I honestly could see any of these things going either way. Like, I could see him dying, but I could also see him living, and like some people have said, maybe even be like a wielder of an enchanted blade. You know, it would be extremely poetic if he got to wield his brother's sword, the Cloud Gouger, which obviously would mean Chihiro has to reforge it, which I could see happening, and I also couldn't see happening. Like, I feel like he will reforge it, especially since we know that like that the hilt or the blade, whatever, that piece of it still exists, right? And we know that Chihiro learned how to forge blades alongside his father. Like, it feels natural that he will do that at some point. But I feel like something else needs to happen to warrant that, because we know that his whole purpose is in retrieving the blades so they're not used. So I feel like we need a pretty good reason for him to be like, okay, not only am I gonna let somebody wield this, but I'm gonna create one for someone to wield. You know? Which I do think probably will happen, but I'm interested to see what pushes him there. And maybe it is like, oh, there's another threat that like we need this to deal with it. AKA the Sword Saint returning or something, you know? Natsuki is this or you guys probably can't see my cursor, huh? But it's the white-haired character that Yura's joke slamming right here. Misaka's brother, the original wielder of Cloud Gouger's brother. Yo, Gojo, thank you so much for the kind words, man. Connor, this is Kagurabachi. Oh yeah, that's interesting. With the eternal contracts. Yeah, I wonder how that would work. I wonder if Intin is tied to the Sword Saint or not. I feel like Kunishige wouldn't have made it that way, but maybe there was no other way. But it could be that Chihiro is like a new nucleus via the Inten. Like Chihiro would be equivalent to the Sword Saint. So if he does create new enchanted blades, maybe they would be tied to him rather than the Sword Saint. We do know that Samura killed Chihiro to free him from the blade, probably because Samura is assuming that Chihiro is connected to the Sword Saint like everyone else, and he doesn't want to kill Chihiro, but I don't think he knows that. I mean, he couldn't know that, right? Because he didn't even know that that sword existed. So it could be, but it couldn't be. I don't think we know enough yet to know. If there is another nucleus, I think it has to be Chihiro. Yeah, Junior, I was saying the same thing earlier. Like, I think we would need a compelling reason for Chihiro to decide to do that. But I do think it's possible and even likely. It would kind of parallel him to his father as well. Do I think Gege will give these kids insane power-ups? I mean, I think they'll level up. For sure. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Schiffer. But I do think Sword Saint is meant to be like the bad guy. You know, there could be a compelling reason for why he did what he did. I mean, obviously, him being Kunishige's best friend does speak to something. Like, what happened? What made him shift so drastically? I think Hunter x Hunter will come back animated. I think it could. I think probably not anytime soon. I don't necessarily think the entire series would have to conclude, but probably a lot of it would have to conclude before they decide to start the anime again. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Chihiro's mom. Like, could she be a member of that island? Is she just not important? It's hard to believe she's just completely unimportant, you know? Like, usually when there's a mysterious dead parent, there's something there. Sec. All right, y'all. Unfortunately, I do think I need to call it here. But we got about an hour or a little under, I guess, a little under hour of Kagurabachi, a little over an hour of JJK. Let me know if you guys enjoy this type of thing. I mean, I do plan on hopefully doing it on Sundays when the chapters release. But even just, you know, random streams where we just yap, even if it's not like a straight up chapter release. It's fun to kind of just, you know, let the ideas flow. Yes, I have read the chapters. Yeah, sorry if you guys that just hopped in. Join the Discord if you haven't, because an alert usually goes out there before we stream. You know, in case you just don't happen to catch it when it's live. It's a good way to know when it's going to happen. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. Loved talking shop as always. And I'm trying to think. I think I'll be able to stream this Sunday. So if nothing else, I'll see you guys then on Sunday. But, you know, I do want to get some gaming in, so maybe we'll do a gaming stream soon as well. But anyways, y'all, thanks again for chilling. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will hopefully see you soon.